Thank you very much, Shalom. Greetings to you all. The clock is ticking, and I mean that in a very good way. As we begin to approach the days of awe, I've been having many discussions with people lately who are busily preparing for them, about what the Torah says, what Kabbalah says, what Halakha, or Jewish law, written, oral, rabbinic, says. And friends, you can break Jewish law down to two types. You have law revealed to the people at Mount Sinai by God, which we call Halakha leMoshe miSinai. And boy, that is a great phrase, the law as told to Moses at Sinai. A favorite rabbinic expression. And law of human origin, which includes all the rabbinic decrees, customs, interpretations. Now, we're not all Maimonides. The great period of writing was during the medieval times, and we have to be able to follow what the Torah tells us. Review what is written in every generation. Times change. And I again will come back to what I have said and what some of you are probably tired of hearing. Your intention rules. Follow your intention. And we will talk more about this as we begin to get ready for Rosh Hashanah, a mere 10 days away. Home for the holidays. I believe I've missed each and every face. Come on and play my music. Let's turn on every love light in the place. Please celebrate me home. Give me a number. Please celebrate me home. Play me one more song that I'll always remember and I can recall. Kenny Loggins. Friends, we can only do the best we can do. Not too many of us are perfect. I only know one or two people who are, and that's only because they have told me they are. Now, I also remember my father used to say, I may not always be right, but I am never wrong. So I guess he falls into that category too. Now, I was having a fantastic chat with someone about something which we read and talked of last week, the prohibition against contravening the law regarding firstborn inheritances. And as usual, Jacob and Esau and Ishmael and Isaac came up. And of course, if you look later, King David's sons, Absalom and Solomon, had the same issue come up, as these often do. And my friend referred to Ishmael as the father of the Arab nations. Now, this is what is commonly accepted. But Ishmael was technically only the father of the Ishmaelites, who, after the burial of Abraham, are only mentioned once more in the entire Torah. It was their caravan that came across Joseph and his brothers, and it was they who Joseph was sold to and who transported him to Egypt. Now, was he wrong? No. He had been told, and he accepted what he said, and his intention was honorable. He spoke from what he believed to be true, but he strives to continue to learn the truth and study. As such, he changes as he learns. He is a fantastic example of what we are to do. Learn, grow, and change. It is not counter to halakha. It is the essence of true halakha. The law is about the truth. And our little discussion reminded me of how important spirit is. You see, spirit is all around us all the time. It has a presence, as do we. And so, my friends, how can you fully experience your presence here and now? Connect with the sensations of life in your body. From the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, we often have a difficult time understanding where we are in the flow of the energy of life. But we can connect to our physical presence, and from that, determine where we are in the scheme of things. Use your body like a map. Learn your legend. Now, this is a great parsha, friends. More than anything, it is the recap of the blessings and curses we saw not that long ago. And while last week was Ki Tetzeh, when you go, this week it is Ki Tavo, when you come in. Coming, going. Do we ever really know? Now, there's a great suggestion, one that more people should consider adopting, that in order to celebrate the blessings that are talked about, we are to tithe, to give a portion of our first fruits to God. And so we are directed to what turns out to be the first real liturgy in the Torah. The verses contained here offer actual prayer, and it's quite exciting to see the first full-fledged prayer service in the Torah to be recited by each Israelite farmer as he brings a sacrifice. Now, we've used other things, such as the thanks after a meal, the Birkat Hamazon, and the Shema, but this is the very first real prayer service to be recited by everyone. And you shall come to the priest who will be in those days, and you shall say to him, I have told today to the Lord your God that I have come into the land which the Lord swore to our fathers to give to us. And the priest shall take the basket from your hand and lay it down before the altar of the Lord your God. And you shall speak out and say before the Lord your God, my father was an Aramean about to perish. And he went down to Egypt. And he sojourned there with a few people, and he became there a great and mighty and multitudinous nation. And the Egyptians did evil to us, and abused us, and set upon us hard labor. And we cried out to the Lord of our fathers, and the Lord heard our voice and saw our abuse and our trouble and our oppression. And the Lord God brought us out from Egypt with a strong hand and with an outstretched arm and with great terror and with signs and with portents. And he brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now look, I have brought the first yield of the fruit of the soil that you gave me, Lord. And you shall lay it down before the Lord your God, and you shall bow before the Lord your God. This is fantastic. A complete summary of the history of Judaism. From the starving descendants of Abraham entering Egypt to them finally being freed. You bring your basket of goods and you put it down before the priest, who then picks it up to present it to God. The prosperous farmer, even as he brings to the sanctuary specimens of the first yield of his crop, recalls how his forefathers were close to dying from famine and were obliged to go down to Egypt, where in due course they were enslaved. Friends, this liturgy shifts the grounds of the ritual of first fruits from the agricultural cycle to a run-through history. He lays it down, the priest picks it up, and you shall lay it down before the Lord your God. Today, we write a check. But friends, joking aside, what is more is we have actually been inculcated with the sharing gene. Or perhaps it is the caring gene. From the beginning of establishing your place in the promised land, there was always one order never to be forgotten. You shall give it to the Levite, to the sojourner, to the orphan, and to the widow. This sharing and caring was for the priests, those doing the work of God, the aliens, the strangers among us, the people we once were, the widows, the orphans, the indigents of society. What fantastic lessons to imprint upon the generations that came next. It is a great parsha full of interesting things. Yes, there are blessings, but the curses take even more space than they did before, and there is the final catch, that unless you agree to 100% of what is written, you are cursed. Unfortunately, I think most fall into that category. Deuteronomy 27:26, cursed be he who does not fulfill the words of this teaching. And lo and behold, the acts upon which curses are pronounced come to 12, one for each tribe. They encompass idolatry and moral and sexual depravity. And the 12th curse is clearly a summarizing one. The Lord will carry against you a nation from afar, from the end of the earth as the eagle swoops, a nation whose tongue you will not understand, a fierce-faced nation that will show no favorable face to an old man and will not pity a lad, and he will eat the fruit of your beasts and the fruit of your soil until you are destroyed. And of course, a newly freed people back from Babylon would understand this to be a prediction of the Babylonian exile. And even more frightening is the parsha ends on a fascinating note. And the Lord will bring you back to Egypt in ships. On the way that I said to you, you shall not see it again, and you will put yourselves up for sale there to your enemies as male slaves and slave girls, and there will be no buyer. These are the words of the covenant that the Lord charged Moses to seal with the Israelites in the land of Moab, besides the covenant that he sealed with them at Horeb. What a deal! And friends, this actually took place. We talk of the Babylonian exile, and we do not talk of the return to Egypt. It's not talked about, it's not written about, but it too was reality. Precious time is slipping away, but you're only king for a day. Doesn't matter to which God you pray, precious time is slipping away. Don't let precious time slip away. You see, my friends, this was not just a long ago then. This is a who we are now. We all have a wilderness to cross. We all struggle to enter our individual promised lands. It is not an out there place, it is an in here place. You cross the desert of lack and fear your whole life. That is why the celebration of Passover, of freedom, is the most important holy day in the Torah. And as we get ready for our time of judgment coming in a week, these are some of the things we need to think about. Now, friends, one of my personal goals is to be conscious as much of the time as possible. And I would think that almost all of you have that also as one of your goals. And when we are present or conscious, we see that there really is a divine plan in our lives. And that it is happening right now. We are each and every one of us holy to God. And thereby consciously participating in the miraculous unfolding of reality. You are unfolding as you are meant to do. And this is the time of year to examine your goals, your relationships, your promises, your wants and needs. Do not forget. Be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself, not just others. Looking out at the road rushing under my wheels, I don't know how to tell you all just how crazy this life feels. I look around for the friends that I used to turn to pull me through, looking into their eyes. I see them running too. Running on empty, running on, running blind, running on, running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Friends, we can't keep running on empty. It is time to pull over and refill. Yes, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everyone you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. Let us send out love, not fear. Sounds of laughter, shades of life are ringing through my open ears, inciting and inviting me. Limitless, undying love which shines around me like a million suns. It calls me on and on across the universe. Nothing's going to change your world but you. Fall in love, friends. It is the great gamble worth taking. Ask questions. Do not take because as an answer. See what lies in front of you. Break free of the dogma. Change your way of thinking. Thank you all. Love you. See you all next time. And I do love seeing you all again. And remember, your wishes do come true. Bless you all. Thank you. And if you are interested in learning more about our Rosh Hashanah service, please drop me a line. Shabbat Shalom. Have a fantastic week.